connected the iron on the wall. All I remember just lying there and screaming. And it was a couple of kicks and a couple of irons. 25% of my body was third-degree burns. Eventually they took a towel and they put it over my head and they suffocated me. I ran out of breath, and then with my left hand I pulled one of their hands off, and that was certainly not my strength. That's where I started. There were higher powers in charge.
The robbers then fled the scene.
So I took a pair of shorts and some top, and I just put over this grease. And I remember when I put the pants on, there were all these skins hanging down. Still today, after so long, when I put pants on, you like have that feeling. I am a survivor. Victims die. But with the Lord's strength, I'm here.
But 3 years later, the couple was attacked for a second time. Jose died in a hail of bullets. Like the first time, no one was ever arrested. Unsolved cases like these have forced many farmers to hire expensive private security companies. Some, like Mafoko or Matamaha, have an unconventional approach.
Oh yeah, we give the criminals medicine. We give them the shambok. We shambok the criminals. They do no more crime.
But for this farmer, protection from a security company came too late. Dan Landsberg was shot dead arriving home with his wife in broad daylight. Members of the community arrested the suspects soon after, but within hours they escaped from the local police cells. It was then that the family turned to the security company who had offered to track down the killers. And it wasn't an empty promise. Later that same day, they reported back with evidence and photographs of the fugitives. They even had this statement from a previous employee exposing the murder plot. But why had the police not gone to this much trouble?
That's the thing. What is me? What is taking place? Because they got the information the same day when they finished killing this man.
Criminologist Professor Niels Moelman has published several papers on farm murders, warning that South Africa's justice system is falling apart.
I have indicated that a person has a 90% chance to follow a criminal career without fearing the consequences in South Africa. And, I've proved that statistically.
Moelman is a member of a government-appointed committee that recently completed a report on farm attacks. This police video footage formed part of the evidence before them. An old man's hand resting on the arm of his wife of many years. She, raped. Police say probably while he was forced to watch. Finally, with their throats slit, they died next to each other. But despite the obvious brutality and violence of these attacks, South African officials insist that nothing sinister should be read into the ongoing killings. Assistant Commissioner Johan Burger is in charge of rural safety and security in the country.
For a long time people have been saying that there are political motives behind these farm attacks. And although there are many indicators which would support such a view, the fact doesn't support that. And in none of those cases have we found any evidence of political motive.
The primary motive is crime, says Professor Mark Wellman, Director of the Crime Prevention Center at Rhodes University in Grahamstown.
They believe farmers keep a large amount of cash in safes and that to pay workers, etc., etc. The second thing is they have weapons, and weapons are a valuable commodity for criminals. And thirdly, they are, not in all cases, but in some cases they want the vehicles.
Wellman says the same levels of brutality can also be seen in other sorts of crime in South Africa.
As horrifying as those images are, and they are, we need to be shocked as a society. We need to say, oh God, what do we do about this? But they're not only being played out on farms in South Africa. They're being played out in townships in South Africa, in suburbs in South Africa, at places of work in South Africa. Even the graphic images of torture, humiliation of the victim. I mean, these are things that the detectives are coming across every day in their work. And again, it's not only on farms.
Yet statistics paint a different picture.
It seems to me a very troubling statistic that the murder rate of the farmers, Boer farmers, is about 4 times as high as it is for the rest of the population.
Dr. Gregory H. Stanton is a retired American professor of law who heads Genocide Watch, the organization that coordinates the international campaign to end genocide. We met him in Berlin, where he was attending a conference in remembrance of the Holocaust. He believes that, apart from crime, there is also another motive.
There is a motive of hatred, that these are hate crimes, that people are tortured, that they're murdered in ways that are dehumanizing.
Not only does Stanton believe farm murders are hate crimes, but he has also recently warned the world that the white farmers in South Africa could be facing